Salutations everyone, this is Razor giving you guys a rundown on the upcoming patch to Overwatch that will bring the new hero into the fray. A lot of balance changes, a couple of bugs and fixed or all that, but let's go to the hero balance updates. We got some buffs and some nerfs to talk about. In general, self-healing abilities will now charge ultimates. So as a result, some heroes' ultimate costs has been adjusted. So anyone who has healing abilities like Bastion or Soldier or Lucio are now going to charge their ultimates when they heal somebody. So you'll get more credit for doing that. But as a result, it'll take longer to get your ultimates as a whole because now there's another avenue for you to charge that ultimate. So your mileage will vary on if this gives you more or less ultimates as a whole. Such as Bastion, his ultimate cost has been increased by 10%, so that's supposed to be counterbalanced from his self-healing ability now charging his ultimate. The biggest buff that we see goes to D.Va. There's a change in how defense matrix works. So it is now an alternate fire. It's no longer one of the bumper abilities. It's going to be the alternate fire since she doesn't already have an alternate fire to her gun. She doesn't have aim down sights or anything like that. So the cooldown has been decreased from 10 seconds to 1 second. And it now uses a resource meter, much like, her boost would. So this meter will deplete when the defense matrix is active and then recharge when it's not in use. The defense matrix takes 10 seconds to recharge fully from being empty. So if you use it to its max potential, it'll take the same amount of time as it does right now, 10 seconds. But if you do not use the defense matrix to its entirety, it will instantly be able to be activated again after 1 second. At full charge, the defense matrix will last for 4 seconds. The defense matrix will now remain active as long as the assigned hotkey is held. Much like for Reinhardt, his shield is up, as long as you have that ability activated. So you can turn it off, turn it on whenever you want to, so you don't have to hold it as long as maybe you would not. Maybe you're only using defense matrix to stop a soldier 76 until he reloads, and then once he's reloading, you can immediately start firing. And then if he tries to shoot, anyone else tries to shoot at you again, you can use defense matrix again. So it makes her a better tank. So the defense matrix has been reclassified as an alternate fire and is now bound to RMB by default. And there's, of course, an added option to toggle the defense matrix being under options controls D.Va. Also, she got a buff to her ultimate. The ultimate cost has been decreased by 15%. So D.Va's going to get more ults, and the explosion delay reduced from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. I think we all saw D.Va's ult getting a lot of kills in the beta and maybe when the game first launched, but once everybody knew how powerful it was to instantly run away, now they have 1 second less to run away, so we're going to get more ults and more kills, and the explosion no longer damages the D.Va player who activated it. So a lot of big ups there. I always thought, having the ults damage her was sometimes kind of unfair, especially if you didn't boost the mech and you just threw it into a room and wasn't able to get around a corner or to safety. So, you would try to maximize your damage by using the ult when you want to, but sometimes you would have to sacrifice yourself. So, big props to D.Va. Now she will be used more so as a tank because she very much underperformed in her damage absorption abilities. So, she's to be more of a tanky tank. And also, self-destruct has a little bit more oomph. You're going to get it 50% more often, and you're going to get more kills because they're going to have only 3 seconds to run away from the explosion as opposed to 4, and you will no longer die from it. So, big props to D.Va. She was already my favorite tank, and now she's going to be better, so I'm very much happy for that. Lucio, much like Bastion, the ultimate cost has been increased by 10%. That'll be offset by, you getting ultimate ability charge from your healing, which Lucio is amazing at. McCree is getting a change to his Peacekeeper. He now maintains full damage at longer distance, but will deal less damage at extreme ranges. So while up close on the previous patch, they were able to nerf him to the range where they thought he should be. They said that he felt a little too weak, so they're increasing his effective distance, making his range similar to Soldier 76's damage over range drop-off. So that, I think, is definitely a good buff to McCree. He wasn't very good at taking out snipers, especially when you take it into factor, you know, his rate of fire and things like that. So a small little buff to McCree after getting nerfed in the last one. Mercy is getting changes to her Caduceus staff. The damage boost bonus damage has been increased from 30% to 50%. So that's a pretty big change. They said that they wanted her damage boost beam to be her primary method for dealing damage, but it felt so weak that people were better off pulling out their blaster, which is definitely true. So instead of your damage boost to your allies being 30% damage boost, it's now a big old bitty percent. So that's going to definitely make Mercy a stronger character, and you will no longer be able to stack bonus damages with other friendly Mercies on your team. The Resurrect ultimate charge has been increased by 30%. Now, like with Bastion and with Lucio, this will be offset by the amount of healing that she does, but overall, it's going to be at detriment to the amount of ultimates that she gets in contrasted to how much Lucio or Bastion or Soldier 76 will be losing, because those are all increased for 10%. This one is a cost increase by 30%, so there will be less ultimates with Mercy, but she is no longer prevented from moving during activation, because usually you know, you would say, you know, heroes never die, and then you get shot because you can't move. You have a lot of, you know, end lag on that move. And Guardian Angel will now instantly reset upon use. So Mercy is going to live a little bit longer if you're using that Guardian Angel. She's going to get much more offensive assists with her Caduceus staff, going from 30 to 50. And her ult's going to be safer, but you're not going to get as many of them. Roadhog, his ultimate cost is being increased by a whopping 45%. Of course, he can heal himself, so if the more healing you do, the more resources will be going to your ultimate. But he already had, I think, the fastest ultimate in the game. You would get a lot of whole hogs a game if you were using Roadhog, so now that's going to be much less prominence, which I don't know. Whole hog wasn't fantastic outside of the knockback in certain situations, but hey, it is, you know, a nerf to Roadhog. I would have much rather seen it in his chain ability, either the range or the cooldown on that attack, but whatever. Soldier 76, his spread recovery will begin after a short delay rather than instantly. So if you're burst firing with Soldier 76, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer to be accurate. And also, Tactical Visor ultimate cost has been increased by 10%, which will be offset by your healing ability. Zenyatta is getting a pretty good buff. His base shields have been increased by 50, so now he'll have 50 health and 150 shields, as opposed to 50 health and 100 shields. So they felt that Zenyatta, you know, doesn't do as much healing as Lucio and Mercy, but that was supposed to be, in theory, offset by the amount of damage that he deals. But because he's so slow and has low health, he struggled to get the kills that he was designed to get to offset, you know, his healing abilities, which aren't on par with Lucio or Mercy. And the projectile speed of both Orbs of Discord and Harmony have been increased from 30 to 120, so you'll be able to heal your teammates faster and Discord your enemies faster. Also, your movement speed will be doubled up when you're popping your ult on Transcendence, and the healing amount has been increased from 200 to 300. So, awesome props to Zenyatta. This will definitively make Tracer the squishiest character in the game, since she was tied with Zenyatta, but now Zenyatta gets 50 more shields, so he'll be able to live longer. He'll be faster and more healing in his ult, so that's fantastic, and he'll be able to heal and debuff your enemy with much faster orbs. Already my favorite healer. A lot of people have been shitting on, saying he's the worst character in the game, but he's getting a lot of really, really useful buffs to be the character that he was more designed to be. There's also a few changes in gameplay, like if the match goes into overtime for more than 20 seconds, the fuse will now start to burn down more quickly. Players will respawn more slowly during overtime, with their respawn time increased by 2 seconds. Competitive play matches now only have one of each hero per team. So in competitive, you won't be able to, you know, have full teams of soldiers or Maze or Torbjorns or what have you, or triple or Bastions or whatever. So that is a nice change, I think, to competitive play. And a bunch of miscellaneous things, and timing on Zenyatta's Rapid Discord achievement is more lenient, because I haven't gotten it yet. So, and just different, like, weird bugs that, don't like lighting changes or changes to this camera or this bug that happens very unlikely, or this thing to this payload. A lot of minor things, but a lot to take in from the buffs and nerfs in this game. I definitely can't wait for it, as well as our new sniper hero, which I cannot wait to play.